Hello, good morning, and welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. I am Kendi Bodering. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you join us today. We will take a look at some of the major headlines making the rounds across the country, and then we will begin with our newspaper review, stating the stories generating public interest before moving into our main discussion with our guests. Please do well to follow us across all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7, and please don't forget to share. Thank you. So today we have Emeka joining us virtually. Emeka Madunagu. He is a journalist and also a public affairs analyst. You're welcome, Mr. Emeka. And it's
Good morning.
yes.
Yeah, my pleasure. Good morning.
Oh, you're welcome. So we just look at the newspapers we'll be taking today. We have the Punch, we have the Daily Trust, and we have the Vanguard here. So we have major stories on the newspaper. We have article ADC defend primaries as court voids Mark-led congresses. We also have FG granted 34 trillion naira import duty waivers in 2025, and this is coming from customs. We also have veterans meet CDS demand 250,000 naira minimum pay for soldiers. Yeah. Beside that, we have Dangote dumps naira begins petrol sales in dollars. And the big story here, Oyo abduction. Presidency slams Makinde over demand for UN probe. And we have all the interesting stories there. Fake agency scandal. ICPC begins probe as DG alleges threat to life. We have downpour cripples Lagos, flood submerges, cars, strands, motorists. And the last story we have here is oil tops $80 as Trump revives Iran blockade. Okay, so Mr. Mika, I want us to take this the big story here, which is Oyo abduction. Presidency slams Makinde over demands for UN probe. When I saw the story, I'm like, okay, what could be done? What we know what he did, and we just thank God for the victory of the rescued abductees. Right now we've seen that Nigeria's presidency criticized Oyo governor Seyi Makinde for calling for a UN probe into the recent abduction of pupils and teachers in the state. So I just want to get your thoughts on this. What can you say about this? Let's know your thoughts on this.
Well, what I can say is that I don't know why the thank you. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I don't know why the government of Nigeria is jittery. It's I mean, when the Chibok girls kidnapping happened in April 2014,
Yeah.
there was a call for an international inquiry. Various nations got involved, helping Nigeria to investigate, and to also trace the girls.
So are you there, Mr. Madnago? Oh.
There was no outcry then. That's the true story about the full happened concerning these friends who believe that there are still some gap in the story.
Okay.
So they are now caught. So Governor Makinde is saying that this is his state, that he doesn't trust the account of the federal government, and he feels that something fishy is going on. If you remember, after that one happened, the sister and children, the sister of former Minister of Power, Adelabu, they were kidnapped. And it was later found out that somebody close to the man was the mastermind. So should we just close it? You said that the collaborators have been caught, that they have been arrested. Who are they? But if it were bloggers now, if it were a blogger or a critic, you quickly parade the person as if you caught Osama bin Laden. But now you're being asked, parade those people. Let us hear their own accounts. Let us, so that Nigerians can make up their minds. But you are now saying that no, you are not attacking Makinde. I mean, it's sad that an old man like Bayo Nonuga, who is the president's spokesman, cannot engage people in healthy debates. There must be insults every time. He doesn't speak well of the president. And I've told them many times, it's unprofessional. You don't see, spokespersons for, world leaders, other world leaders of developed nations, insulting people for, making demand principles. But the Nigeria sees such things and is unprofessional. Let them address the concerns of the governor and others in the matter. Thank you.
Very true. Thank you so much, because we really need to hear from them also. Okay, so Emeka, do you think or what impact will this have on efforts to fight banditry in Oyo State?
Well, of course, after all said and done, they will still continue to work together. After all, the governor, the governor received the principal, and the pupils, the other teachers, he received them in government house yesterday. And, they were led there by a team of military officers. So, and the military is controlled by the federal government. But the sad thing is that all through this 56-day ordeal, of this innocent Nigerians, President Tinubu never communicated with Governor Seyi Makinde. All through the period, there was a federal government team that visited Oyo State and said they never visited the government house, which is against protocol. You don't just land in a state, a subnational jurisdiction, and you just go to somewhere, make findings, and they can deny it. They can even claim. That's why some Nigerians are saying that the federal government staged the kidnapping. When you put politics into everything, of course, people have a right to also draw their conclusions.
Definitely, yeah.
You should avoid playing politics with the lives of people. Do the right things at the right time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So let's look at another story still on the Punch newspaper. Dangote dumps Naira, begins petrol sales in dollars. In fact, when I saw this, I was like, okay, how do we now survive as Nigerians? Right. So I would like to hear your thoughts on these two. What does Dangote's decision say about confidence in the Nigerian economy?
No, Dangote is just playing he's just behaving like an international player, an international entrepreneur, an international businessman, and very simple. He had an agreement with the Nigerian government, which also covered other refiners, local refiners, that they will buy crude in Naira. This was said to be a game changer, but Nigerian government has suddenly brought it to an end, has suddenly ended the Naira for crude sales. So that means it will begin selling, crude, at international prices in dollars. Why do we keep hurting ourselves like this? We take one step forward, we take two steps backward. Why? Why would you want to be selling to local refiners in dollars? Then when they now price it, what pricing? Before you now go all the way, exchange rate and all that. How do you think it will hurt the Nigerian people? So that's why he did that. So if the Nigerian government knows that it is serious about getting Nigerians to get, helping Nigerians to get petroleum products at affordable rates, then it should reinstate the Naira for crude. Because, by the way, the Naira is our currency.
Yes.
You won't hear the United States saying it's going to do business in Naira. On his own territory. It's only maybe in his embassy in Nigeria that you can say, okay, he's accepting a Naira. He's accepting Naira. Other than that, for international trade, you deal in your currency. And we have been saying that this Naira for crude will help to strengthen the value of the Naira, because the Naira is suffering from low purchasing power parity. It's low when you compare the purchasing power against that of a number of other currencies, including the CFA of smaller African countries. It's stronger. The exchange is at a stronger level than Nigerian naira. So by bringing up that naira for crude, we had made a conscious effort to counterbalance the factors against the naira. But I hope the federal government will revive that deal so that it will not adversely affect the local industry. Thank you.
Yeah, really, we just hope so. Okay, let's look at the policy response, from government. So, should the government intervene to stop dollar sales of petrol? Do you think the government should intervene on that?
No, it's very simple. We have been saying that the government should give priority to local refiners,
Okay.
But the government is still giving out licenses to people to import petroleum products. So now some are saying that it's to prevent Dangote from becoming a monopoly. And the question to ask is this: those people you're giving licenses, why can't they come together, put money together, maybe buy one of these NNPC refineries, or set up their own refinery, or buy into any of the existing refineries and increase their output? After all, over the last few days, Nigeria increased its oil production above the OPEC quota of 1.7 million barrels per day. So what we need is local refining, so that more jobs can be created. That is what we need. When you create jobs, people will spend in the night, will spend the naira, and then you make the economy, much better, so that you can increase the purchasing power of Nigerians. That's all we're asking for. Reinstate the naira for crude policy, and any other thing that will encourage local content, reinstate it, so that at least things will be much easier for Nigerians. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very well. Thank you. So let's just look at another story, and this is coming from the Daily Trust newspaper. ICPC won't indict Gbajabiamila, says Phantom Council DG. Now, Emeka, I just want us to examine possible motives, or examine the possible motive in this story. And why did the Phantom Council DG make this statement?
Well, he is saying that the chief of staff to the president, Femi Gbajabiamila, whom he said, whom he named as the prime mover of the Phantom, the so-called Phantom agency, that with the way things have gone, that the ICPC will not indict him. The president gave the ICPC 30 days within which to investigate the saga and report back to him. But already the police say they are going to arraign him. That is the police, Adeyemi, who is the so-called fake DG. They said they will arraign him in court today. Already they had picked his father, who is not even named in the entire saga. But they now picked him against the law, against what the law says, that you cannot arrest somebody in proxy for another person. All that is anarchy. It's just impunity. You now went and arrested the father. That's why the man is saying that already the police have named Femi Gbajabiamila as a prosecution witness. So where do you expect justice to be done? Where? How do you expect justice to be done? I mean, so that is why he's saying that, no, don't give Femi Gbajabiamila the benefit of the doubt yet, until you have investigated the matter. Now, even while the matter was on, the president named Femi Gbajabiamila to head a 9-man or so implementation committee on state police. So what are you saying? The president again came out to say that people should stop calling Femi Gbajabiamila name, that he has implicit trust in him. So the matter is dead. That's what it means. You've already taken sides. So why is the ICPC wasting time? investigating the matter. Why would the police be wasting time going to court? Since the president has already decided that Femi Gbajabiamila is innocent, then let's just close the matter and move on to other things. Thank you.
Definitely, whenever there's a problem, there would be lessons to learn from that problem and even the solution. Now, let's just quickly discuss the governance failures on this and what lessons can be learned about fake agencies in government.
Not just about fake agencies.
Okay.
You also have allocations that, fake allocations or questionable allocations. There's an allocation to a support team for the World Cup. It's in the budget. Nigeria didn't qualify for the World Cup. So, which support team were they trying to raise? Which support team were they trying to raise? What was that item for? Did the National Assembly write to the Ministry of Sport that this line item should not be implemented because, or did the Accountant General Federation write to the National Assembly to say that this line item will not be implemented because Nigeria didn't qualify for the World Cup? What about the issue of the National Abadjiri Commission that was said to have had, an inclusion for 2 roads in Oyo State?
Yeah.
Are the roads leading to any Amajiri settlement? And there are others like that. In some.
Are you still there? Okay. Emeka, are you still there?
In the budget, which should not be as of. Hello. Yeah, I'm not fake agency.
Okay, please.
There are agencies with questionable origin and questionable intent. That's what it should be. There's nothing fake. There's nothing fake about them because some people were behind the creation of such agencies, were behind the insertion of such allocations. So what we need is a better administrative management of the system, of the public service, and a better and more transparent management of the budgeting system, of the national budgeting system. That is what Nigeria needs. Thank you.
All right. I think we are not asking for too much. If only things like this can be put in place, the country will be a better place. All right. So Emeka Madunagu will still be with us to take our main conversation. When we return, the court verdict that could upend ADC's 2027 election plans. Yeah, stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is Enterprise Television, and we've been we're talking about major headlines on our newspaper, and now we're going to talk about our main conversation. The Court of Appeal, in a 2-1 majority judgment, upheld a federal high court order restraining INEC from recognizing state congresses organized by committees appointed by the Senator David Mark-led caretaker leadership of the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Now, the court ruled that only elected state executive committees have the constitutional authority to conduct state congresses, making congresses and the National Convention organized by the caretaker leadership invalid. It is also affirmed that the tenure of the party's elected state executives remains valid and ordered the caretaker leadership not to interfere. The appeal filed by the ADC was dismissed, and the party was ordered to pay 10 million naira in cost. One justice dissented, arguing the matter was an internal party affair beyond the court jurisdiction. The judgment could affect the legitimacy of candidates produced through the Mark-led faction ahead of the 2027 elections, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's presidential bid. Now, the ADC insisted the ruling would not affect candidates produced through its direct primaries and announced plans to challenge the decision at the Supreme Court. INEC had not reacted to the judgment at the time of reporting. All right, so Emeka Madnagu is still here with us. So you're welcome back, Emeka. Are you there?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm here, thank you.
All right, thank you too. So how will this judgment affect Atiku Abubakar's position in the ADC, knowing fully well his position over there?
No. The appeal court merely said that the former executives, state executives should remain. That like what the High Court said, Federal High Court. But you see, these are internal party matters. I don't know why the judiciary continues to overreach itself. With due respect. I mean, you cannot dictate to parties when to hold elections, when to hold Congress. You cannot. So far as it is not in violation of the Constitution. What does the ADC Constitution say? Who are those who brought up this matter? What is their locus standard? Which is a big problem. What is their locus? What is their standing? What justification do they have to bring up the matter? That is what you saw in the shameful episode at Federal High Court Lokoja. A judge who ruled in December came back to say his ruling was wrong. Then he should resign.
Yeah.
Such a judge should be sacked. Because what it means, you don't know, it means that you don't even know what you're doing. You're incompetent. That's what it means. Because you know the judicial rules. That a court cannot upturn its own judgment. So, this is what we are saying again. The Supreme Court has again and again for decades, again and again said court should not interfere in the internal affairs of political parties. And then INEC is also playing a dubious role, a suspicious role in this whole thing. Why did INEC give the other faction of Nafiu Bala? Why did they give them the code? For uploading the names of their candidates. Did they hold any convention? Is going on in this country. All these anarchy, irresponsible people in public offices who just think they can do it. Do they want to destroy this country? And INEC should be held responsible. If this democracy breaks down, they should be held totally responsible, because utterly irresponsible. The court has restored. A Federal High Court restored the marked leadership.
Yeah.
Why are you now acting surreptitiously? Nafiu Bala came on social media to say he had received the code to upload, and INEC did not come out to deny it if it was the lie. So what is going on? The APC is actively doing its best to prevent opposition political parties from participating in presidential elections, by extension in all the elections. They just want to give all its candidates a free pass, and it will not happen.
No.
It will not happen. Let them try their best. They will continue to fail, because this is disgraceful. The chairman of the three-man appeal panel, he clearly said it, that this is not justiciable. That the Supreme Court has, look, let me tell you something. The Chief Justice of Nigeria should stop all these her speeches that judges should not take back. Listen, those judges who have found poor people in such unethical conduct should be sacked. Don't be preaching sermons, judges should. No! Show an example, make an example of such judges. Don't protect such judges. Don't allow them to continue to desecrate the judiciary. The Supreme Court, which is the apex court of has given landmark rulings, landmark judgment in the same matter again and again. What are lower courts still doing with such matters? What is their interest in such matters? You know, they're desecrating the judicial independence, and it is unacceptable. These things just make people just just make people sad. Because what exactly was the two justices of the appeal court? What were they trying to achieve? The chairman of the panel told you clearly that this thing is not just when it gets to the Supreme Court, it's going to be thrown out. So what are you trying to do? You know the Supreme Court, but what they are trying to do is to make sure that between now, because courts are going on recess, this is July, courts are going on vacation, and they'll resume in September. So to make sure that before the Supreme Court resumes, right, they will, Atiku Abubakar and all the candidates produced by by David Mark's leadership will be prevented from submitting their credentials. Will be prevented from submitting their credentials to INEC, so that by the time the Supreme Court now resumes, whatever judgment they give will be an academic exercise. Let me tell you something. I want to tell they should remember Abacha. Abacha didn't know that June 8, 1998 was going to be his last day on earth. He didn't know. He was planning to do all kinds of things. But what happened? He was nowhere to be found. Let these people be careful. I keep telling people, there is the God factor in everything we do.
Definitely. I think
let them be very careful, because those of us who don't care whatever shenanigans they will continue to pray to God and will continue to speak out, and the forces of nature will bear us witness and will work with us to make sure that the evil machinations of those who want to pull out the democracy is frustrated. Those who think they can benefit from democracy, they will be disgraced, they will be disappointed, and by the grace of God, they will find out that only God is supreme. What sort of nonsense is all this? What sort of a thing is this? It's utter nonsense, as far as I'm concerned. Because I stand with the Supreme Court, and any other ruling is unacceptable. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for that detailed thought of yours. I mean, we have the freedom, we have our right to do, some certain things in the country, because it is also stated in the Constitution. So we just hope Atiku Abubakar, that's the ADC rather, she just, try to prepare ahead before the court resume in September. All right. So let's just let's look at this. How might this ruling impact? Okay, I think we've taken this. Should political parties reduce court cases over their internal matters? Do you think we should have like a reduction on these court cases over internal?
Of course, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
The National Assembly. Well, it is interesting that at least the David Mark's leadership has said they will appeal judgment, and then Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who is his presidential candidate, has said there's no cause for alarm. It is interesting, and it is laudable, because we must always remain within the realms of constitutionality. So it is very interesting too that definitely, as they would have filed their appeal by now, at the Supreme Court. So INEC cannot, the judgment of the appeal court cannot take effect. The split judgment of the appeal court cannot take effect until the Supreme Court rules. So INEC is also putting its own timetable in jeopardy. They should also realize that there is still a case by Benga Olawipo Hashim. It's still there concerning the length of time within which candidates should be allowed to be nominated. It's still there. Then there's also the other matter about the ADC, that the appeal court had already told the Federal Court to remove his hands. It is still there. That one, I think, has been fixed to either September or October 21 or 23. It's still there. Then there are other matters here and there that are still. So if INEC cannot call the leaders of political parties and call politicians to tell them that, look, you're going to jeopardize this election, so be it. Let's continue fooling ourselves. Let's continue in this merry-go-round. At the end of the day, you cannot exclude anybody. The judiciary must not become the alternative electorate. Because anytime any election holds, people will say, wait, the judiciary has not spoken. The judiciary is the judiciary that will decide who is the final arbiter. It should not be so. It ought not to be so. People cannot stand in the sun, in the rain, and then you just come up and they use one technicality, to knock off. It should not be so. It should not be so. There have been such judgments that really left Nigerians highly disappointed. But I hope the judiciary can remedy all those things. If the Supreme Court has already ruled on the matter, I think it should be, the lower court should look at such matters as decided. You cannot try to reopen a matter that the Supreme Court has already decided upon. Not once, not twice. Come on. Is it that judges, I know judges usually hold conferences now. They meet and they discuss. Don't they discuss issues of hierarchy in their, look at what the appeal court said concerning what Justice Peter Lee, ruled in the case of the purported registration of some political parties. He said that was reckless. The court, the matter had already been referred to the appeal court. And the appeal court said you should hands off. You still went to issue a judgment. On what basis? If you throw the country into anarchy, you will just look for somewhere to go and hide or run away from the country.
Yeah.
Whereas lives will be lost. Avoidably. If the senior court has said stop, let's stop the stop. But the situation where people want to perpetrate because you want to bow to the whims and caprices of politicians, as it seems, then I'm sorry, they've not learned any lessons.
That's all.
They've not learned any lessons. And it's sad. The judiciary must not become a cog in the wheel of progress of democracy. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So, what message do you think this is? What message do you think other political parties should learn from this?
Well, the thing is this: it's unfortunate that there are Nigerian politicians who remain delinquent, whose conduct is iniquitous, and who think they can manipulate the judiciary, to do their bidding. But let me tell them something.
Yeah.
We were in this country and witnessed how, democracy was truncated in the past on just flimsy grounds. Flimsy grounds. Look at the first coup speech, by Major Cardinal Zongo, where he accused the politicians of different things. Have those problems been resolved today, up to today? Go and read the speech. Go and read the speech by Sani Abacha on December 31, 1983. Go and read all the problems, all the things he accused President Shehu Shagari and all the politicians of. Go and read how those problems were resolved. Go and read the coup speech of General Joshua Dogoyaro when Babangida overthrew Buhari on August 26, 1985 rather. Go and list all the things they accused Buhari of. And those problems don't stay with us. Go on to Abacha, November 17, 1993. Go on when he removed the international government of Chief Ernest Shonekan. Go and list everything that he said. Has anything changed? Go on to July 8th, after Abacha died, and General Abdul Salami Abubakar became the head of state. Go and read his speeches. Has anything changed? Go and read the speeches of Obasanjo, Yaradua after him, Jonathan after him, Buhari after him, and then Tinubu himself. Is it not the same things we've been talking about right from independence in 1960? Have we solved any of the problems that have dogged us? Why don't we join hands together, work together? You are telling me that that it doesn't make sense for you, to sit by and allow your political opponents, so you call them enemies. These are Nigerians. Nigerians by birth. You're not saying to allow your enemies be making progress. What is politics? Like they say, soldier go, soldier come, barracks remain.
Yeah.
You can be president today. Tomorrow you'll not be president. You can be president forever. Even all those who have been president for life. Where's Yadema? Yasimbe Yadema of Togo. Rotting bones in the grave. So no matter, even if you try to force yourself on the people, one day you will leave.
Yeah.
One day you will leave. So our Nigerian position should learn one thing.
Okay.
That the grave is the final destination of every human being. So if that is the case, it means that you should be conscious. People should be conscious of what they do on earth. If they use their lives to cause chaos, disorder in society, that is what they will be remembered for. And people will not speak well of them.
Yeah.
It will be a disgrace. Even their own children, even their grandchildren, may even drop their names. Yes. Do you hear anybody bearing Mussolini today? Do you hear anybody bearing Hitler today?
Mm-mm.
All those odious characters. Do you hear anybody bearing their name? Their children have dropped their names. Because why? It's a disgrace. Because their forebears, left an odious legacy for them. So let Nigerian politicians stay true to the Constitution and to the Electoral Act and stop trying to use the judiciary.
Are you still there? Are you there, Mika? Well, that was a detailed thought on that. Thank you so much, Emeka. We would say this judgment raises important questions about party democracy, internal discipline, and the role of the courts in political matters. Well, we will continue to watch how this unfolds, especially with 2027 in view. Thank you so much, Emeka Madnago, and it was really a pleasure having you on today's show. So we've come to the end of today's episode on the morning show of Enterprise Television. Please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7, and please do well to share. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I remain Kende Bodri. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.